those two. But Christian Rasmussen, there's a lot to unpack here. That was your first official practice session with the series. And then on top of that, that's your first time on the Waiuli greens. What was the whole experience like? I saw some conversations after you got out of the car. What did those look like as well?
Yeah, I mean, they feel great. Obviously, it's a lot more grip than what I've tried so far. So it was a lot of learning for me, just trying to find the edge of it and see what we can do with it. But no, it felt great. Obviously, I didn't really maximize everything here and there, but I'm sure that'll get better and better as the more greens I get.
Now let's take a moment. You're here in the INDYCAR series. Is this just a dream come true?
It's pretty badass. It's cool, But again, when I get out there and I'm on track, it feels natural to me. So it's great. It's something we've been working towards for many, many years now, and to finally be here is amazing. But now it's time to earn my spot and hopefully make a career out of it here.
Debut weekend for Christian Rasmussen in the series, and he sure worked his way up the ladder for it.
Going to be talking about traffic. Romain Grosjean's first official day with Hugo's Holliger Racing. You were fourth when you got out of the car, still P6. How is it?
Not too shabby. It was a good session. Honestly, we started really well. I think we were P1 in the first part of the session. Car felt great. We made some changes that not necessarily went the right direction for the alternates. So I guess everyone has got a bit of room to improve, but I think we do as well. Felix seems to be flying right now, so he's the man to beat, but definitely happy where we are. I think we still have room to improve, but the team's done a brilliant job since Sebring test.
When we talked this morning about that Sebring test, there were some things that you wanted to address and made some changes, and then you just never know. What is that like when you get in the car and, what we suggested, what we're trying works?
Yeah, it was like a 70-30. 70% is going to work, 30 is not going to work. After 20 years of racing, that's a little bit what you get, but definitely we made some good steps. I'm happy. I think there's a bit more that we need to find. Obviously, track's going to change a lot during the weekend. It's picking up grip, it's changing a little bit, but Augustin is competitive as well, so I'm happy that both guys are up there.
Good start, thank you.
Really nice start, top five. He's with Marty.
Well, between debris and red flags and cautions and traffic, did you ever get a clean lap at all, Scott?
We got okay clean lap, but I wouldn't say it was the whole way around. But yeah, really proud of this Deck 17 Chevy. I think we've all been working really hard in the off-season between Chevy, ourselves at Team Penske, and just feel like we've got a really good car. But Felix has done a great job in his new rocket ship, and IndyCar is just going to be so tight this year. It's going to be tough, and I can't wait for the battle.
So I want to ask you about the alternate tires. I've heard some drivers saying it took 3 or 4 laps for theirs to come in. You had some traffic on your lap, but what do you think? Will they come in quickly, or is it going to take a while?
Yeah, I think they're all going to come in later because they all dawdle around too much and they don't really go hard. But if they go a little bit faster, they might get some tyre temp. But it is what it is. You just got to sort of go with the flow of it. But I genuinely thought we might have been a little bit okay with the clear traffic today. But I think it's great that IndyCar's trying a new initiative with this practice and gives each other a chance at some clear running. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. What method's better?
Kevin, you got to love it. Even in a limited session with limited cars on track, there's still traffic for drivers to be worried about. Just talking about 3 to 4 laps for the alternates to come in. Did you see that as well?
No, mine was like the second lap. That was it. I did a couple more just because you only get one sort of these 10-minute sessions. But yeah, mine was in pretty much.
Pretty warm. How was the car?
Yeah, it's hot, man. But the car's pretty good. I feel good. Worked very hard in the off season. We've made some major improvements, which we needed to. We were well off, and I'm way more prepared this year. Obviously, last year I was coming in and really hadn't done anything because I'd been in the hospital for my wife. So certainly very determined to have a strong year. I was very disappointed with last year.
And the street courses were certainly a focus for Will Power and Team Penske. And if he sounds a little bit off, George, it's because he has allergies. We talked about that earlier, but Will feeling fine and ready to go.
Really positive start for Marcus Armstrong, Kev.
Yes, it was. Let's talk to him about it. You felt pretty good coming in. One of the reasons because you got a lot of extra testing time working on the hybrid. Did it translate here on this street track?
Well, to be fair, it feels completely different, if I'm completely honest. But yeah, it does help because you can get your eye in and get used to it. And saying that, you can't replicate a track like St. Pete. So it's pretty cool out there, super slippery to begin with, but man, it's just a lot of fun. And the car started off in a difficult spot. And to be fair, it didn't actually feel that good at the end, but we're still there. So what more can I ask for?
We couldn't ask you these kind of questions last year because everything was new, so now you're back for round 2. And one change this year is they've done some repaving in turn 3. How does that feel this year compared to what it was last year?
Well, everyone was laughing at me last year because I was the rookie. Went out for my first couple of laps. First thing I said was, holy beep. It's like so harsh at turn 3. And everyone was like, yeah, whatever, he's the rookie, you know. But first lap, everyone went through there almost binning it. So this year it's a lot easier, I have to say. So thank you to everyone who repaved that because it's easy flat now.
Thanks, Marcus. Georgia.
Well, he topped the charts in the first official IndyCar session of 2024. Felix Rosenqvist, what a way to start the season, and you did it by a huge margin. So what were your biggest takeaways from that session?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. We had a good run on the blacks to start with. AutoNation Series XM car was just really good out the gates and good confidence, which I've been talking about through preseason testing. So really happy that it's that way and not the opposite. And then on the reg, we just took another step. So they weren't hugely, I think the gap between the reds and the blacks are a bit smaller. But yeah, car feels great. And I would say early days, but better than being last.
You told me a little earlier today, with this new team at Meyer-Shank Racing, you feel like you're leading the way and you have a little bit more control. Is that what we're seeing here?
I mean, as I say, it's still really early, and obviously I've given the team a good idea what I like, and I think that lines up pretty well with what we had anyway. So obviously we had our collab with Andretti as well, which helps a lot, and we have a pretty tight-knit group there. So yeah, I really like it, and hopefully we can keep it going.
Felix Rosenqvist tops the charts, practice session number 1. Guys?